Hey sixth graders, welcome to lesson 2.2. All right, so we are in PT 2.2 and this lesson is on page 32 in your book. You can follow along there as well. All right, so today we're going to talk about cicadas. So right here is a cicada. All right, at the very top, right up here, it says cicadas spend most of their lives underground. Some populations of cicadas come above ground every 13 years. Other populations come up every 17 years. Cicadas do not cause damage to fruits and vegetables directly. However, the females damage trees when they make slits in them to lay eggs. So then right here, it's just kind of a did you know some interesting facts section. It just says cicadas are sometimes mistakenly called locusts. This is what a locust looks like over here. A locust is a type of grasshopper. It looks nothing like a cicada. So you can see in both pictured there and how they actually look very different from each other. The air originated with early European settlers in North America. There they encountered large outbreaks of cicadas. The swarms of insects reminded the settlers of stories they had heard about swarms of locusts in Egypt. Underneath those two pictures there, some more facts for you. It says female cicadas lay their eggs in tree branches. When the young cicadas hatch, they drop to the ground and burrow into the soil. They remain underground for 13 or 17 years, feeding off juices from tree roots. Sometimes 17-year cicadas can overlap with 13-year cicadas. This happened in Missouri in 1998. So you can probably see where we're headed here, all right? We are going to be working on multiples again today, and we're going to be working on common multiples. So today's lesson is based off of yesterday's lessons. It's just a little bit more challenging, okay? So in your book, if you want to flip the page, you can turn to page 32, all right, is where you're going to start finding this. So on the top of page 32, it says Stephen's grandfather told him about how cicadas sometimes damaged his orchard. One year, there were so many cicadas, they wrecked the buds on all of his young trees. Both the 13-year and the 17-year cicadas came up that year. So letter A this is where you come in. It says suppose 13-year and 17-year cicadas both appear this year. When will both types of cicadas next appear together? Explain. So in Canvas, you should see a sheet. It's called PT for Primetime 2.2 lab sheets. So in our math curriculum, CMP, we call them lab sheets. Essentially, they're just worksheets, okay? But from here on out, you're going to see something called lab sheets. So you're going to want to go ahead and you're going to want to open that up. And this is what it's going to look like. Okay, so at the very top here is what I just read to you. All right, we're working on letter A here. So we need to figure out, we have the 13-year and we have the 17-year cicadas. All right, we want to know when they next appear. So we're working on those common multiples again today. Again, extension off of yesterday. So we're going to make ourselves a list. So I'm going to help get you started here. All right, and then you're going to be working on them. So I'm going to put 13, and I'm going to leave some space, and I'm going to write 17. And I'm thinking multiples. My first multiple of 13 times 1 is 13. I'm going to make my list. So I can either take 13 and multiply it by 2 to get my next multiple, or I can just add 13 onto my number. I'm going to do multiplication, so 13 times 2 gives me 26. I'm going to add 13 more, or multiply by 3, and I'm going to get to 39. I'm going to stop there and I'm going to flip down to 17. My first multiple is 17. If I add 17 more, I'm going to 34. If I add 17 more, I'm going to 51. So far, I don't have anything in common between the two when I look at both of my lists. So I'm going to jump back up to 13. I'm going to add another 13 to 39. And I got 52. Oh, so close. 52 and 51 still don't have a common number. So this is where you come in. You are going to keep going with both of these lists until you find a common multiple. All right, so then you're going to answer that final question. When will both types of cicadas next appear together? You're just going to tell me how many, an amount of years. All right, I don't need the actual year, right? Like you don't need to tell me 2035. You just need to tell me how many years it'll be. When you are done with A, you're going to do B. Now, the only thing that changes on B, it says, suppose there are 12-year, 14-year, and 16-year cicadas that appear this year. After how many years will all three types of cicadas appear together again? Explain. So you're doing that same process. The only thing that's different, I'll get it back on my pencil here, is there are 3 of them that you need to do. All 3 of them, I start listing my multiples here. Counting up by 14s here. My first one I was counting up by 12s. All 3 of them have to have the same number. I can't just have my 12s and 14s have the same number. I have to have all of them. All right. This is what I want to tell you. All right. You are going to get into some pretty high numbers here for B especially, and you're also going to get up into some high numbers here for A, okay? Don't get discouraged and don't get frustrated. You can do it, all right? Just be very careful when you're adding or doing your multiplication, all right? Take your time. It's not a race, okay? It's very, very important that you're getting the right calculations so that it doesn't throw off all of your answers, okay? So again, on A, you just need to get a common multiple, the smallest one for 13 and 17. And then for B, you have to have a common multiple for all 3 of them. So you're going to have a number here that matches the number here that's the same as the number here. You have to have all 3. And then again on this one, you're just going to tell me the number and then how many years it'll be, okay? Take your time. When you're done with that, make sure you submit it in Canvas. There are directions for you in Canvas on how to submit. Don't submit me a video, okay? There's the button, or that shows you the buttons on how to submit, okay? So please use those. When you're done, you can do iExcel or Prodigy. I will be here for you in Google Meet if you need me, but it's really you just taking your time and finding those common multiples. Let me know if you have any questions. Good luck.